And now more into the physical part of our movement. But before we get into the in-depth discussion about how we do all that stuff, we need to cover how we control it. So what is it that we use to control our movement? Is it our brain that controls everything we do? Or is it something else? Well, surprising to many of you, it is not our brain. Our brain is not actively involved in our natural movement. Now, many of you know that already, but when you're asked the question, then things become confusing. But physically, when you're out there doing things, like any kind of sporting activities or any kind of movement-related activities where you're trying to perfect something, you're trying to get better at it, you come to the point where you find, the less I think about it, the better I can do. The more I just do it, the better I seem to do. Doesn't that tell you? Your brain does not actively instruct your body what it needs to do for all the movements. It's just the opposite. When it comes to our natural movements, our body controls our movements. Our posture adjusts our body to be ready to do the movement we want to do. Then what do we actually use to do that movement? It's our feet. We control those movements with our feet. Our posture sets the conditions that are required for the movement to take place. And then our feet use those conditions our posture creates in our feet to do the actual movement. And the more our brain stays out of it, how that movement's going to go, the less we do of that, the better it is. And the more we just feel what it is we need to do, the more we relax and just let our body do what it knows how to do, the better our movements are. So stop allowing your thoughts to get in the way of what you already know is natural. Our brain is very important. Without it, we can't do anything. Without it, we're dead meat. But unless there's a problem, our movements are the body's domain. We need to learn how to trust that. In natural movement ability, we do trust it. We don't have to think about it. Once in a while, we get challenged, and then we put a little bit of thought into it, and then we go about doing what we need to do. But even still, when we think about it with natural movement ability, the movement still happens pretty good. It doesn't change much, but it changes a little bit. And the change is, as we think about it more, we restrict our movements a little bit more. And that's because we change our posture many times, just a little bit. It's sometimes hard to see, but it is there. The difference is those people with the movement impairment, because we have these other difficulties going on, we're using a lot of thought in those movements. And as we've covered before, a lot of that thought is because of the fear and the added problems that the fear causes and all those mistakes and falls that we've made before. But all of that thought, whether you're naturally moving or whether you're unnaturally moving, whatever that ability level is, we all have the same effect. Thinking about the movements we need to do and putting all that thought into how to do them better actually makes it worse. Now, yes, it's easy to say that to a person with natural ability, just let it go, quit thinking about it, and just do it. Poof, they're gone. But with the unnatural ability, those of us with the movement impairment, we do have some problems where we can't just say, poof, let it go, you'll be fine. We won't be fine. Why? Because our posture is not relaxed and it's not in that natural state that it was to allow us to go back to thoughtless, no thought movement. The thinking that we're putting into it is because our posture is not relaxed like it was before. So how do we get it more relaxed? How do we get it to where it adjusts to where it needs to be to set the right conditions on our feet so that we can do those movements better? That's where we start with the next video. How does our posture work? Create that correct stuff in our feet so we can get our head out of the picture. And there is another way of saying you already know what controls your movement. I want you to think about when you're out playing any games, you're involved with any kind of something that is fun related. Where is your mind in all that? Your mind is in the game. It's involved with having fun. And how can I have more fun? Or it's out, it's shopping. Oh, look at that sword. Look at that sword. Look at those shoes. Look at those dresses. Oh my God, look at them over there. Your mind is out involved with something else. So it's the body that's doing all the work. And the feet are moving the body where it wants to go. Well, actually, the feet are moving the body where the mind wants to go. The mind is out there saying, okay, take me here, take me there. I don't want to know how it all works. I just want to go there. I want to go there. I want to have that fun. I want to do that fun. This is a slave. This is where all the control is of the movement, because this up here doesn't want the work. It wants the fun. And it only becomes involved with the movement when something happens with the movement. It doesn't go right. And then it goes, hey, what are you guys doing down there? When everything is going just fine, the mind is not involved in your movement. It has too much other stuff to do. Your body is in control of those movements. Your body knows how to do those. Your feet produce the movement. With natural movement ability, our body self-adjusts. It does everything that it needs to do to make our movements perfect. And it sets the proper condition to where our feet naturally functioning, naturally flexing. They do exactly what they need to do. And all this happens at the exact time it needs to happen. Without the brain saying, like a parent, don't make me come in there. The body says, I've got it. I can do this. That's where our natural function and ability comes from. It's our relaxed, reflexive, cooperative posture just doing its thing. And our feet, the same thing. Our feet, that's where all this is happening. That's where the action is taking place on the floor. This is what we use to physically move our body everywhere. This is what we physically use to stand on, to support us, to balance on everything. Those are the important things to think about with all the movement stuff. It's not satisfying the brain. It's just the opposite. How do we satisfy them? How do we keep them happy? And that brings up another interesting little reminder about what's important and what's not in our movement. Everybody has heard the expression, if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. But when mama is happy, the whole house is relaxed. Everybody's relaxed. Everything just functions a little bit better. So let's consider mama, your feet. Your feet are mama. That's mama. You keep mama happy. That means keeping the right conditions on your feet. It means your body adjusting itself to make the right conditions on the feet for the movement to happen. And now, let's get over to finding how to do that. How this adjusts to the right stuff down there.